This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Style and Forged Irish Stout. Delighted to be joined with Mikaela Mayer. We're back in, it's fight week, we're back in England, back in the UK, and this time bigger than the last two fights, with it being a world title. Excited for Saturday night?
Yeah, of course. This is the fight I've been asking for, or the type of fight I've been asking for. Been a little bit of a slow year for me, so this is the energy and the build-up and the opponent that I'm looking for.
And when it comes to, I suppose, camps over Christmas, how was sort of that, dealing with training over Christmas, all them sort of types of things? How did you sort of deal with that?
That really wasn't a big deal for me. You know, I'm in Vegas right now. I'm not surrounded by friends and family, really. So just in the gym and with the other people that are training through Christmas as well. So in Vegas, there's a lot of sparring, lots of gyms. So I didn't find it too difficult.
And with a fight like this in Liverpool and everything that comes with it, do you feel like you have that big fight feeling, being in the big fights again? Is that sort of an exciting feeling for you, being a main event? This fight does all have that big fight feeling.
It does. And it's exciting for me. It's motivating for me. It's where I see myself at this stage of my career in big fights like this. It's one of the reasons why this last year was kind of tough on me mentally, because, you know, it wasn't as exciting, right? Let's be honest. So I had to take that step back and work my way back into this position, and now I'm here, and now I got to get it done.
I suppose I'll touch on that, and I think you've referenced it in a few interviews. You're talking about the road back to a world title. Has it been a little bit longer than you expected it to be? 14, I think it's been about 14 months since the Baumgardner fight. Has it been a frustrating thing for you, having that long road back for a world title?
You know, I think it's relative. I mean, it was a year, but I stayed busy. You know, I got to be grateful for that. I got some good fights in, and a year later, I'm back fighting for a world title. So, in the grand scheme of things, I'm still very grateful, and I'm in a great position. I know that. So, just got to capitalize on this opportunity that I have and get it done. But for the most part, you know, it's short time frame to get me in this position. Like, it was worth it to be where I am right now.
When it comes to fighting someone like Natasha Jonas, is there an excitement factor where she's on such great momentum at the moment, and she, you know, especially people in the UK are riding high on her, you coming over to them shores? Is it good that, you know, you feel like I'm getting the best Natasha Jonas that I possibly could have? You know, forget whatever opponent she's had before, I'm going to face the hardest one. Yeah,
no, having her name and having her what she's accomplished, and knowing that she's a big name over here, very well respected, that's a challenge to me. That gives a challenge to me. I want to fight somebody who has that credibility and who has that following and that build up. So even though this is sort of the first time in my career where I'm the challenger and I'm coming over and maybe not the favorite, actually I'm not the favorite if you look at the odds, but it's motivating for me. It's okay. You know, I feel like this is still where I'm meant to be, and I think it's still on paper a very close fight, and I think that's what boxing wants to see. They want to see fights of women of our caliber, you know, going up against each other. So I know she has her fans, but I got mine too.
Well, you mentioned that there about the motivations with the fight. Is the feeling different with you being, I know you sort of just briefly touched on it there, but you being the challenger, one of the first times you being the challenger, when you compare it to your other fights now, it's a world title, and when you wake up, and, you know, you want to do them runs, it's sort of something that you can really, really sort of sink your teeth into.
Yeah, and, you know, the belts are great. Obviously, you need the belts because you need that to call the shots and be able to get the fights that you want. But ultimately, for me, like, the most important thing is being able to challenge myself against the best, is being able to build my resume full of great fighters and names like Natasha Jonas. Those are the type of names that I want on my resume. So that's really what fuels me. Yeah, the materialistic things like the belt and all this, it's all great, but I want to make sure that by the time I hang my gloves up, I've done everything I can to challenge myself against the best. Otherwise, you know, what's the point? You can't call yourself pound-for-pound fighter if you didn't do your best to do that. So this is just another check off my hit list.
One thing I did want to ask you about, I did see a little Twitter back and forth between yourselves about the cup. Sort of, are those issues cleared up now with her replying?
I don't think they're cleared up, because I imagine she's still going to come into the ring with the same belt that she's gone into the ring in the past. But I didn't think that me saying that was going to resolve this fight. You know, I'm in her country, her hometown, whatever. She's got the belt. But it is an issue that needs to be discussed and figured out, because there's plenty of cups these days for us women. Maybe, you know, a long time ago there wasn't, and that was the only option. But she is wearing a man's cup, and it's going all the way up to her boobs. So there's really no opening for her body, and that really shouldn't be legal. So I'm just hoping that I made a point, and people can follow up on this, because it doesn't look good. It's not right. I don't even think she should feel comfortable wearing that, to be honest. I would be embarrassed, but hopefully that's a topic for another day, but it needs to be discussed.
And just the last one from me, this fight being at welterweight, how good does it feel going into fight week when you aren't actually having the battle of making weight and you're not boiling yourself down?
I love it. I think you're going to see a better version of me. I'm a happier fighter. I've had a more enjoyable camp. I feel like I'm just at a more natural weight where I've been able to put on muscle, whereas before, like, I was constantly dieting down to a weight that really wasn't suitable for my body type. And what happens when you do that is you cut all this muscle, and then in between you blow up. You blow up because your hormones are so imbalanced, and you don't really have time to, or the ability to put on any extra weight in muscle because you have to diet back down in a few months. So it just, for a while it was a perfect weight class for me, but I probably should have gone up, a few fights back. I don't regret it though. I had a great run at 130. It is what it is, but now I feel better.
So would you say welterweight could be a permanent move for you?
Oh yeah. Welterweight is definitely where I'm comfortable sitting right now. I don't see myself ever going back down below 140. I could go to 140 for a big fight with someone like Katie Taylor, if that ever became an option, but never down below 140 again.
Absolutely. Mikaela, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to speak to me. Really, really appreciate catching up with you, and all the best for Saturday night against Natasha Jonas. Thank you. Cheers.
We need to think of a new advert for freebets.com.
Get your best betting offers from freebets.com.
Yeah, that'll do.
The following deals are now live.